Good afternoon, I'm Nikki Terrio, here with artist David McKay, who has a studio and who has been exhibiting at Gallery 78 in Fredericton since its beginning 33 years ago. David, how did you know that you wanted to be an artist and why?
Well, I wanted to be an artist ever since I was a little kid, but I trained, went through high school and trained after high school to be a structural technician. And I think part of the reason for that is I never had anyone in the family who was an artist, and I didn't know any artists. So for me to be an artist was more like a fantasy or a dream. So anyway, after I started working full-time as a structural technician, I decided, because the interest in art just kept growing and growing, so after I think I was 26 years old, and I decided just to quit my regular paying job and become an artist.
People who come to New Brunswick, they're always amazed at the wonderful landscapes of New Brunswick, and they call it Canada's secret gem. What is it about New Brunswick that inspires you to paint?
Well, I think it is a gem. It's a very beautiful province, and the lifestyle here is nice. It's conducive to artistic work. I like particularly the St. John River Valley. I find it beautiful. But I think for me it's also a matter of it's an emotional closeness that I have to the province. I've lived here all my life. I've experienced all kinds of things, and I think it's the experiences and the memories and the emotional attachment that I have to the province more than the visual part that I paint. Although my paintings are very realistic, and obviously you look at them, you know what they are.
Yeah. I've noticed that you've made a few book covers. Are there other proud moments that you've had as an artist?
Well, I've had a few proud moments. I'd like to have more, of course. Probably being elected to the RCA was one of the highlights of my career. And I have a painting in the collection of the royal family. Prince Andrew has one of my paintings. And I have several paintings on book covers, and that's nice for an artist because it gives you more publicity, more exposure, so we all like that sort of thing. I'm also proud actually to be part of Gallery 78, which is, of course, your family's gallery. And but in all honesty, Gallery 78 is one of the very best galleries in Canada, and continues to evolve and get better. And I'm fortunate to have my studio here with it. So that's probably one of the highlights of my career, actually.
Some of your paintings, I've noticed that some of them are made in watercolor, and the others are in egg tempera.
Yes.
Can you tell our viewers what egg tempera is?
Well, egg tempera is simply paint made with egg yolk. All paints start out with colored dry pigments, and then you mix those pigments with different mediums to get different kinds of paint. So if I took those same dry pigments and mixed with linseed oil, I would make oil paint. So if I mix them with egg yolk, I'm making egg tempera. And I also paint in watercolor, which is a mixture of the pigments with gum arabic. Here's a painting that I finished actually, but I was working on it a little bit more, and this is an egg tempera painting. And I think most people think of egg tempera when you talk about egg yolk, they think it's going to go bad and smell bad and all that sort of thing. But actually it's a very long-lived painting medium. And there are paintings in museums that are several hundred years old that were done in egg tempera. It has a nice luminous glow to it, and they don't darken with age. So it's a beautiful medium. It's a little more methodical, and you sort of have to plan your attack with an egg tempera painting. And for me, watercolors are more spontaneous and a little bit more fun in a way.
Well, thank you for your time, David.
Well, thank you.
And those are all the questions we have today with David McKay.